Yo, y'all get me? Scott value, man. Scott.
Hello? Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Stream. I was trying to come up here to tell you that.
Oh, how is it now?
From here, I can hear you. I don't know if on YouTube if I can hear you right now.
Oh, I don't know. It's bugging out. YouTube been bugging out. So, okay. Oh, his leaf is gone. I don't know, man. My connection is terrible right now. Trying to get this together. Okay. Yeah, John? Yeah, John?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, that's good. I'm not sure
Okay.
why the volume wasn't working.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, sometimes this thing be bugging.
Yeah, tonight decided to bug.
Okay, here come Leaf. What's up, Leaf?
What's good, bro? What's
Not
good? What's good with
much.
y'all?
Not much. Yeah, this thing,
Was
man. I mean, I'm looking at Twitter and people are complaining about how this team stinks and suck. But the whole purpose of everybody should know what the purpose of the Nets right now.
Listen,
here's the
I'm
problem
I'm
though.
I'm gonna go first, bro, by saying this because looking at that game, the way I looked at it, and looking at the substitutions that was made all night,
Oh yeah.
that was Jordy being demanded to make those substitutions when he was making them.
Yep. Sure
And a
enough.
lot of those and we all know we've been watching basketball for years. When you make substitutions like that, it takes players out of rhythm,
Sure
and
enough.
it takes players out of the spots that they was trying to get in because best believe those players was trying to win that game.
Hell yeah, they was.
And Jordy and they were making comebacks and they were making strides to win that game.
Yep.
The
Yep.
problem is somebody from upstairs after that Boston game
Said what
called
you
Jordy
doing,
Fernandez to the office
and said what you
and
doing.
and said, "What are you doing?"
Sure enough.
And he probably replied, "I'm I'm coaching. I'm living my dream." He's like, "Okay, cool. You want to keep living your dream?
You better lose this
This
game.
this is this is what you going. This is what's going to happen next game.
I
You could
totally think so.
you could play these players, but guess what? You better figure out a way to lose this game.
Yep.
And
You
that's
know what
what
the
it is.
problem
He's
is?
and your next win
Better be
shouldn't come as earlier
till
than
January.
Christmas
January.
or January, bruh. If
Yeah.
I see us, if
You
I
know,
see us at more than 4 wins, and meanwhile the Wizards and the Pacers
Are
is
losing like
basically
they did.
is still at the basement of the league, bruh, and they doing and you doing this again like you did last year, because we already got rid of your veteran point guards.
That's right.
We already got rid of your
you know,
veteran point guards. Now you can't got nobody to bring the ball up. And now I understand that a lot of people want Drake Powell to start. Well,
Right.
I got news for you. If Drake Powell starts and they start winning, then you're gonna want his ass back on the bench.
Right,
No, no, no.
exactly.
Wait, can I step in here? Listen, Drake Powell is ascending at the right way he's going. He's showing you a lot of what he can do. Problem tonight is it seems like Yegor and Powell aren't a part of the offensive sets. It seems like Powell's been reduced to a secondary playmaker behind Tyree Smart, and this is where all the flack is coming tonight. Listen, Tyree Smart at 26 points. He's a veteran bench piece for us. He's making a minimum salary. This guy, if he has a good rest of the year, he's not making a 10, 15, $20 million salary on a contract with us. We'd be stupid to give that away. But the problem is Powell and Yegor, they're not a lot. They weren't a part of a lot of the offensive sets tonight. It's like I get the vets want to help each other out, but it's like these guys can't just stand around and create their own shots by themselves. They need a little help too, so they could be a part of it. I just feel like tonight Powell and Yegor weren't a part of that. I saw Powell hit a mid-range shot over Scotty, and what did Jordy do? He benches him. I'm like, bro, run some plays to Drake Powell. He just got a shot off on their franchise guy. No, I got to bench the guy for Tyrese Martin. Like, listen, this is what the problem is. We don't have a franchise guy. We have MPJ and Claxton playing well right now, but everybody's like, oh, let's keep both those guys. We can just get an eighth pick and we'll be fine and dandy. No. Besides the rookies and Noah Clowney, everybody else is up for trade potential on this team. Securing a top five pick is everything. Scott, I don't know if you saw it today, with the 76ers losing today, OKC now has not one, not two, but three lottery picks right now
But
out of
that's not our.
14.
But that's not our problem. That's the league
It is a
problem.
problem for
It's
us
a
because
league
we're
problem.
I listen. I can almost promise you that three of those lottery picks is either they probably going to be in the top 10, but I don't think the league is stupid enough to put none of them picks in the top five.
Are
That's
they
number
elite?
one.
Are they? They had no problem keeping
That's a
Dallas
league
Cooper.
problem.
They had no problem being stupid there. This is the problem. If we were the worst record, Scott, we don't have to worry about getting jumped by OKC. You're guaranteed at least the fifth pick, no less. But now that we're
Here's
now
the thing
we're gonna
about pick swaps. They can only like they usually only go as high as six. Trust me, bro. Like I'm telling you, look,
they might draft higher than us.
the worst record in the league is reserved for that five spot or lower or higher. Excuse me,
Hmm.
on a draft board. So they only go as lower as six, unless OKC is the Spurs, which they are not. Unless they got Wimby, which they don't, the league is not looking out for them after like that, bro. That's something I do know. Now, to get to the Drake Powell part, Drake Powell, listen, he had a everybody likes to point to these little moments. I'm about sick of it because I called the game and I know what type of defense that Drake Powell scored on that specific play that Scotty Barnes, bro, really wasn't playing defense on that play at all, bro. Like
Oh, he
he was
was trying
sitting
to
in the
guard him. He was trying to guard him.
no,
Powell just made a good
he was
shot.
in
Powell just made a good shot.
no, he got in the paint already. Scotty Barnes was trying to pick up on somebody else. Drake Powell was supposed to be guarded by somebody else. Scotty Barnes was picking up, and he didn't want to leave the rebound open, bro. So he just guarded it at the last second. That's one of the reasons why Drake Powell got in the paint in the first place. Against 94 feet pressure defense, Yegor and Drake Powell, they got a long, long way to go. Trust me. They got a
They're
long way.
making little
It's one of
strides.
the reasons why Terrence Mann has been playing 30 minutes because he
Oh,
is responsible for ball security.
what
He is
security?
responsible
He's
for
been
that.
awful, Leaf. This guy has been freaking awful. This guy had a few good games in Los Angeles. Then they traded for Fat Suit Harden, and this guy got knocked to Atlanta. Like, this guy is not a starter. Jordy's obsession with him. I don't know if he owes Jordy owes this guy money, but come on, Drake Powell is ready for the opportunity. Him and Yegor, everybody talks about the chemistry between MPJ and Claxton. Yegor and Powell have developed some type of chemistry in their minutes together, but you're not going to find out unless you play them together. We're supposed to be embracing the youth here, but we're screwing around here with Tyrese Martin dropping 26 points because his development. Now we're developing a vet at 26, Scott. You want to talk about a news line? I'm talking about people on Twitter talking about developing this guy at 26. What are we talking about? This guy is trying to survive right now
The
on this team.
development, like I said, the development is not going to
Crazy.
fully. The development is not going to fully take place until the veterans are off this team and the rookies are occupying those minutes, bro. Which is probably going to be later on down the line of the season. I don't respect nothing about this development until Danny Wolf is on the court. I don't
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
so you're in
I
agree- so
really
you're in
really don't,
agree-
bro. Listen, and I'm gonna say this one more time about Yegor and Drake Powell, bro. Drake Powell is basically the token black dude, bro. That's in the horror movie, bro. Like he don't even know he about to get killed. He don't even know it, bro. Like he's running around, bro.
So Leaf, you're in agreement with me that if a team, so
He's running around, bro. He's
wait,
dark as
Leaf,
three.
so
He's
you're in
dark
agreement
as
with
3 a.m., bro. Like and he has a he's a right on the eye. He has a good smile, bro. But nothing about him reads, "I'm gonna take this game over." Nothing about his demeanor says, "Oh, I got all right, yo. I'm taking this play." Nothing about he seems like a good old boy. Do what you're told. I'm gonna play defense and be active. Hey, oh, thanks, coach. Was I supposed to be there, coach? Or they did. Thanks, coach. All right. I
That's
appreciate it,
on
coach.
Jordan. Leaf. That's on Jordan. We've seen some of the spurts with Drake Powell. He can dunk the ball. Jay from BK on Twitter told his kid, like, just dunk. Don't be scared. And he did the following game. Like, he's also made a few jump shots. He had a one-legged jump shot against the team the other day, which is like a Kevin Durant thing. Like, he's shown what he can do, but Jordy is holding him back, making him a secondary playmaker to Tyrese Martin. That's on Jordan. Like, you got to say, Drake, I'm going to initiate some offensive plays to you through our vets. They're going to find you for spots, be ready for your moment. But no, it's like we're playing within the flow of the game because we got to win. That's why the vets are getting all these extra shots and over the rookies. I'm seeing Yegor have a bad game because nobody's finding him for shots. He's taking shots on his own. I'm like, guys, can you like try to set him up for a shot? Why are we letting the rookies take their own shots and screwing up their own games? That's on Jordan because he has to win so damn badly. And that's what's getting tiring here. But Leaf, you're in agreement that if there's a team that offers us a decent offer for an MPJ or Claxton, you're ready to trade those guys. You're not just going to keep them because they're the current temporary top guys, right? You're willing to move off of them so the rookies can play more, right? You're in agreement with me on that, at least.
I mean, listen. I'm in agreement with you, but it's just that I gotta find out more pieces to this puzzle. The thing is that like I'm only in agreement, bro. Like once these players get off the team, or once the vets get off the team, because we're already one of the youngest teams in the league. We're gonna be all in on shutting it down and being completely in the basement of the Eastern Conference, where the Pacers are, and but at the same time, systematically, I don't like the way that Jordy likes to run. One of the reasons why I don't think Danny Wolf is playing is probably because he's afraid that he's gonna start winning with him. Guess what? Guess what, Nets front office? Guess what's Nets coaching staff? If you start winning with Danny Wolf and Yegor and Drake Powell, then then that means you know what that means? That means that your tanking is over. You got your guys. You got your guys for the future, bro. Like I'm promise you, everybody. I heard, I seen the show the other earlier. I was looking at some bit of the show earlier. Everybody's all enamored about Derek Queen. I got news for you. Derek Queen only started 5 games, and in those 5 starts, he only played 20 something minutes because he was stinking it up from the field as a starter, which probably means that he's probably going to be a bench player for the foreseeable future. Which one of the reasons why they didn't trade Zion yet.
Yeah,
When Derek Queen shows that he can start and lead this team and do something with this team, somewhat astronomical as a rookie, then Zion will be out the door.
that's fair. That's
You
You
fair.
know
know,
what I'm
you know,
saying?
you know what the problem
Then
is?
Zion will be out the door. Then Jordan Poole will be out the door because they are ready to move. Trust me when I tell you, Joe Dumars and that new coach, they just fired Willie Green. And they just got Joe Dumars this past season. Joe Dumars and that new coaching staff is ready to move on from Zion Williams.
Yep, that
They
is
ready
true.
to
Scott,
move on from him.
I can believe that.
with Claxton and MPJ, listen, I understand the arguments why we could keep either of them. MPJ could be a third or fourth option later down the line. Claxton could be a center, and maybe you play Wolf with
Not
him
for
to
no
maximize
$40
both their
million,
potential.
bro.
No, I agree with you. Listen. I would go no higher than 20 to 25 mil for 2 to 3 years. I wouldn't go to 30 or 40. So we're in agreement on that. But this is my thing. We have no franchise guy right now, and with this current veteran group we have, they're gonna win these games against these bad teams and screw your lottery odds. But if you trade these guys for the right prices, and we secure a franchise guy, you have something to actually build with. Like the fact that Tyrese Martin is our head scorer over everybody else, it's very worrisome because we don't have a franchise game. Even though Scotty Barnes dropped 17 tonight, look at how different the Raptors are with Scotty Barnes now. You have Ingram, you have Quickly, you have Jakob and RJ before he got hurt. Son. Like they have a core now around a franchise guy. We don't have that. I get MPJ and Claxton are good temporary guys, but Leaf said himself, we got to stop making temporary guys top guys. We're in the Cam
But
Johnson, Dennis Schroeder game we were last year, where we traded both those guys when the values were
We
low.
we,
Both these
I
guys'
got
values
news
are
for you, bro.
high.
We been like that since we traded KD. We just been recycling number
players,
threes and number fours and then disguising them as number ones. That's
Right.
what
That's
we've
yeah,
what we're
been
doing.
doing,
That's what
bro.
we're
Like
doing
and
with
I
MPJ.
and it's only two things. It's only two things that's gonna happen this time next year. One, we gonna keep on recycling like we've been doing, or keep on low balling like we've been doing.
right,
Get somebody on paper to fill out the contract because we need somebody on payroll, bro. Remind you, we are number 30 in payroll this year.
right.
We are number 30. We are dead last in payroll this year. Like had it not been from MPJ, bro, we probably would have been getting fined for not paying people.
You know what?
How we got away with paying Cam Thomas 6 mil is criminal to me.
That's what Sean Marks has done. He never invests in young guys. But the thing is, some of these guys we did draft this year have a lot of potential to potentially be core guys. But this is my thing. If you do trade MPJ or Claxton, you trade one out of the two, and we get a top guy, we get more cap space going to next summer where you can sign better vets to build around your franchise guy of next year's draft. But we need that number one guy. If we're going to keep winning games and not do anything at the deadline, we're going to be exactly where we are drafting a Kareem Lopez at 8, but having no franchise guy, like you need your number one if you're going to build anything. And the fact that Tyrese Martin is your best player of the night, it just shows how ass backwards we're going because Jordy has to win so badly. But look at the other teams we're facing. Look at Detroit. They sucked for 4 years to get Kate Cunningham. Now they're the top team in the East. Like you got to get your number one guy, and it feels like right now we're just leaving it up to chance again because we think we'll get lucky somehow. No, the NBA doesn't have our back. You got to guarantee yourself a top pick. So if that means moving MPJ or Claxton, so you have the best odds possible, you got to be open to it. The only guys I'm willing to keep on this team right now are your rookies and Noah Clowney. Everybody else is movable for me at this point.
The good thing about all of that you just said is that we lost the goddamn game like we were supposed to do.
Even though, I
It was pretty
honestly
close, Lee.
speaking, even
Man,
though,
listen,
honestly speaking,
yeah,
the
it was close,
Nets,
but we lost.
yes, because they sat MPJ
Barely.
down, they
Yeah,
they
they
shut him
sat
down,
MPJ down in the
they
fourth
shut him
quarter
down, they
and
shut him
messed
down,
up his rhythm, bro. Like
right?
so, like that they did what they were supposed to do, in terms of upstairs because
Exactly.
I don't believe that was Jordy's call. I
No,
don't
I don't
believe none
believe
of
that
that was
neither.
Jordy's call, bro. Jordy is out here trying to win because he's trying to keep his job. He don't know if he gonna get fired after this.
Right,
Either way he go, he don't know how if he gonna get fired after this. His only way out of this situation, scot free, is if he played the rookies right off the rip, and the rookies started balling right off the rip. If the rookies started balling from day, if in a perfect world, if the rookies started balling from day one, from game one of the season all the way to now, then the rebuild is over.
yeah,
That's what
technically,
that means. I
Yeah,
don't.
but Jordy didn't want to play that game.
That means that you hit that you hit on at least three out of five of these dudes, and the rebuild is over. And you got rookies and you got young players to go forward with. They could give a damn about a damn Peterson or Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonce or
right.
Caleb
Nah, hell,
Martin.
we need one of those guys. Listen, I liked some of the guys we drafted, but none of these guys are number one. Respectfully, Danny Wolf, he's not number one. He's a number two or three. I think Drake Powell could be a 3 or 4 first, and Yeager maybe a 3 4. But these guys in next year's draft are rare commodities. And right now, OKC has 3 lottery picks. Like, we got to start smartening up here. Like, December 15th couldn't come any sooner. I'm waking up every day saying, when's December 15th come around? Because this roster has to get broken down a bit to the molecule. Because if Jordy goes with this right now, we're going to screw ourselves again. And then he's going to say, oh, we're winning long term because I'm winning right now. You're not winning. Beating these other bad teams on purpose is not winning. You're just sending us back even more. These other teams that had go through the same hell we're refusing. We're actually refusing to go through hell right now because we're too proud to do what other teams did, unselfishly, mind you. But look what they did.
Well,
They suffered, and now they're on the rise. We're still in the bottom middle right now because we have an organization that can't lead. We have an owner who doesn't know what he wants to do. We have a GM who's incompetent, and now we have a coach who thinks he's Greg freaking Popovich with Tyrese Martin. This front office has to wake up or they could all leave next year if we get a top 7 pick and not top 5. That's what the goal is this year. But we're still lost in translation here right now.
the goal really is top three, bro. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I don't
top five,
top five
top
ain't
five,
helping.
or you.
Yeah, but you guys act like that's a definite given what we're doing right now. We have OKC with 3 picks right now. Like, be
Yeah,
happy
I
with 5
understand
at
what you
this
saying. I
point.
understand. I understand what you're saying, but focus on the target instead of like what's possible.
you need a top
Because
three.
the thing is, bro, we only got one shot to get this right because we only got one pick. That's number one.
We're down to one
Number
bullet. Leaf, say what it is. We're down to one bullet in the chamber. That's what it is right now. We have one bullet
Man,
left to
listen,
fire.
look, you could call it that, but listen, you better aim and hit your target. That's number one. Number two, we like this is a lot contrary to what people might believe. This is really not the market to be just throwing games away. It's not, bro. Like, I mean, and I know people gonna get pushback to it and be like, "Yo, come on, man, look at our roster and this, that, and the third." It's really not the roster to be doing. It's really not the market to be doing that. It's a reason, bro, why you never seen the Lakers do it. It's a reason why you never seen uh uh uh, uh, a lot of teams in big markets do it. They've always been able to like have somebody to sell or get somebody to fill up the seats.
Yeah.
Because that's the market. That's what it attracts. This is what keeps you making money. This is what
So
keeps you
so
a
But
hot
that,
yeah.
that's
market in the
that's not
league.
winning long term. That's optics. Listen, the Brooklyn Nets could be an optics team, but we want to be a real team. And the thing is,
I
you're not
mean,
going to get a Giannis. You're not going to get a
but you
Giannis.
got to understand, bro.
You're not going to.
Not
You're not going to
everybody
get a.
could win in the NBA.
Yeah, but
Not
you're not going to
everybody
get a
could,
Giannis.
and
You're not going to get
winning
a
is not
Giannis.
guaranteed. Winning is not
Yeah,
guaranteed in the NBA. Selling
yeah,
tickets is.
but Leaf, you're not just going to get a Giannis here with nothing around. You're not going to get another star here in the next 2 years if you don't have an actual core. You tell me, dude, I'm being told right now that Tyrese Martin, MPJ, Nick Claxton, those are the guys that we're going to get a star with. I'm like, come on. Listen, these guys are doing fine in sub tier roles because there's no top dog on this team. But realistically, look how far we are from real legit teams. Yeah, we took the Raptors to almost overtime tonight. But still, they have actual talent. They have a number 1 or 2 or 3. We don't even have a number 2 or 1 right now. Like, we need to get this draft right with our last bullet, or else we are going to be a real joke next year. The
I
NBA
mean,
media, I think, will
we
light on
definitely
us this
got a
past
number
summer.
three, bro. His name is MPJ. Like we definitely got that. We got that. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
well, that's
number
if
two.
he wants to still play in 2 years. Remember, he might semi-retire. He might say something wrong on a podcast. They'll make Sean Marks scratch his hair out of his head. Like, there's no definite that this guy will be here in 2 years. I like what he's doing, but he is a wild card. He really is. If
He
we're
is
being
literally a
honest.
drug test away from being out the league permanently, bro.
Seriously.
Like
Like,
let's
yeah,
call it what it is.
seriously. Like,
We
Leaf, if
already
that's
know,
my
bro.
guy right
Like
now, yikes. If that's my guy right now, yikes.
he went from the middle America, bro, to the Tribeca, bro. Like this dude, if this ain't a dude that's gonna like literally spaz out, bro, I don't know what is. Like it's only gonna take below but he's able to maintain professional for the most part. For the most part, I'll say that, but I don't like. I'm not losing my hair over this because I know what our franchise is.
yeah.
And I know we not really destined to like even if we do get a top pick, we not destined to hold him to a high regard and we gonna look for him to take us to the finish line because this time next year everybody's gonna be panicking about how Houston got our picks and how we need to be good and how we need to be good right away.
Right.
You need a
So
top 5 pick. At least if we have a top 5 guy, we can figure out
top
something. But if we go into next summer with the 8th or ninth pick and $40 million cap space, who the hell knows what we're gonna do? That feels like you either get Giannis or you're screwed at that point, and that could screw us too. So you got to get a top pick or else leave. We are out of ideas here. Like we're going with Tyrese Martin as our sixth man next year at that rate,
Be
which is
honest with you, bro.
scary.
Even if we do get a top 3 pick, we still gonna have to go for somebody in a big trade anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, but you
Either
need a
way,
top guy first. At least have that option. If we don't get a top guy, that option is scary option to use because
or
it's not
or
guaranteed.
or you
I
get
mean,
two, or you
no.
get
It's the
two.
thing is like when you bring on a top 3 pick, I'm sick of top 5, bro. Like when you bring on a top 3 pick, the thing is now you start to command attention because these are the 3 guys that's highlighted, and those 3 guys that's highlighted to change franchises. Those are 3 guys that's highlighted to trade franchise. I'm sorry. Listen, like I know how y'all feel about Caleb Martin and Nathan Men. You could tell me whatever you want,
Yeah,
but
Wilson. Yeah,
yeah, you could tell me whatever you want about Caleb Wilson and Nathan Men, but those guys are not meant to change franchises. They
Wilson.
not. Listen, if it, like, I'm it, like when it comes down to definite, bruh. When it comes down to definite, we think definite like Wimby, Zion,
Mhm.
Blake, LeBron, Kyrie, AD type shit. You got somebody has to be definite in order for jersey sales to go crazy, in order for the market to scream, in order for new fans to come in, everybody season tickets go out the gate, bro. Like, listen, I got news for y'all. Dallas didn't miss a beat in terms of sales anymore because Cooper Flag jerseys sold out day one. The second that they flipped that envelope, bro, Cooper Flag jerseys sold out day one. It was almost like Luca never played there. I swear
Yeah,
to you, bro. And this is how you started. This is how you restarted. They thought they was gonna restart it with him, Kyrie, and AD. Kyrie and AD, bro. These people gotta accept injuries are who they are now. That's who they are. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
who
they're in
they're
a
gonna be.
position at least to rebuild. We're supposed to be in a position to get young pieces to actually build something. Like even the teams that screwed got that screwed around are in a better position than we are right now, which is it's even worse. Like it's embarrassing to say, "Oh, Dallas, man, they did a coup thing with Adam Silver that blew up in their face," but still they can get a whole bunch of assets to rebuild around Cooper Flag. At least they got the number one guy, which they shouldn't have gotten. But you know what? They were gifted that. We're not going to get gifted nobody unless we actually apply ourselves properly and set ourselves up for the best potential odds possible. And right now, the way Jordy's coaching, he's going to screw us out of this because you're going to beat the Wizards, you're going to beat the Pacers, you beat all the bad teams and have a 12 and 60 record or something like that. Like we could
If
screw
I ain't
ourselves
gonna
that
lie to
badly
you,
because of
listen, John, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we finish with 12 wins, if it's 2 teams that finish lower than that, I swear to God, bro. Like I'm not even gonna argue that, bro. Like that I know you, and then probably in a large section of the tankers is gonna argue that, bro. Like and gonna piss on our front office. But if we finish with 12 wins and somebody finish with lower than that, that's some bullshit, bro. Like I'm not, I am not. Come on now,
yeah.
that's
You
just
can't.
that's just
Yeah, you
that's
can't.
just clear cut tanking right there.
Yeah, yeah. You can't be
You
10
can't
wins.
like come on. The
10
NBA can, the
wins.
NBA can't allow that, bro.
Yeah, because it's 1 in
it's just they
15.
don't have our back. You
The
can tell
Wizards are
you
1
can tell
in 15.
It's
The
not
Wizards,
about the
you
NBA
can tell
having our back. It's the NBA staying true to their word, bro, about
yeah,
this
but you
tanking process.
right, but you
That's
can
what it's
tell that
really
Sean Marks
about,
and
bro.
I know, but you could tell Sean Marks and Joe Tsai have no allies in the NBA. Like, I don't even know if Joe Tsai thought, oh, I'll help them with the China relations this year. Maybe they'll throw me a bone, maybe a top four. Like, if that's the only way we got a top four pick, okay, we'll address that. But if he thought that was his Hail Mary to get a top pick, yikes. Like, you're
or
desperate at that point to
or
get an inner
or
circle.
or they already know the fix. Or they already know.
If that's the case, Jordy wouldn't be coaching like his life's on the line,
No,
Scott.
maybe
Respectfully.
Jordy tanked this game. They could have won this game.
No, no. In the beginning, the first quarter, if he would have started Drake Powell, maybe we would have had enough ammunition. The Terrence
No,
Mann
they
move
we
gave us
were
a slow
tied.
start.
We were tied in the third quarter, and MPJ was getting kind of a little toasty.
Well, the refs weren't giving us calls either. That kind of and Jordy gave himself a tech in the game, so
And
like
then he
those
took
extra
him
little
out.
things cost us.
And then he
So
took him out. He took him out of the game. I mean, I couldn't believe he took him out.
I'm not going to say we tanked this game because we tried with full effort, like Jordy is always
I
going to
can
try.
believe it, bro,
believe it.
because of everything that I told you after the Celtics game. Jordy was called upstairs. Said, "Yo, make sure you come straight upstairs. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You come straight upstairs after this game. Do not go to the media. Do not talk to nobody. Do not do game interviews. Nothing. You come straight upstairs.
That's
That's
what
what
he
you
said.
do." And
Jordy
that's
he
said,
what
put
want
in the
happened,
and
bro.
he want
clubhouse.
to
I
keep
think
his
we got to
job.
come. We have to come to the conclusion that the front office and ownership, they the Kevin Durant Kyrie experiment messed them up so bad in terms of they psyche and the way that they think. They might start running this organization probably like Donald Sterling, bro.
Wow.
And I hate to say it that way, but like realistically, bro, like you're gonna be seeing a whole lot of number threes and number fours being disguised as number ones through this organization. They probably gonna look like they playing their best basketball as long as as long as Josiah and as long as Sean Marks are here. They are out to prove, they are out to send a message to NBA players. You are not going to come here and run the show.
I don't
That's
know,
what they are
Luca.
out here to prove. And they are going
The
to.
trade deadline will tell us if Sean, Joe, and Jordy are on the same page. Because if you just trade Hayward Highsmith with this deadline and keep everybody else, it means they just don't give a damn and they'll live with whatever happens, which would be horrible. But if
That's
they trade
exactly
some of
what
the
they
cats,
gonna do.
no. But
And you know what's crazy? And you know what's crazy about this process is that a skill set that I'm starting to see that works in the NBA is a skill set that we have already drafted, and that's the skill set of Danny Wolf. The point guard, the first off, all your guards as shooters is basically shooters and fast break merchants now. The
Yeah,
guys that's taking control of the game is the guys that have the skill sets that Joker has. Those are the guys that's
man,
slowing the game down, bro. Those are the guys that you can sit at the free throw line and basically the defense doesn't know what to do because of their offensive skill set. If I could promise you, bro, if the Pelicans have that player in Derek Queen, we have that player in Danny Wolf. So Jay, if you're listening, relax. We got a version. We got
ah,
a trust me. We got trust me when I tell you. We have a better version of it, bro. Everybody like to talk about how he went off against Joker. Like
right,
Joker is this high level defender, bro. I can guarantee you, Joker probably had 25, 15, and 11 like with 80% shooting, bro, off of goddamn 14 shots. 14, 15 shots, probably controlled the game with 14, 15 shots, probably had a block and a steal, and
right,
nobody was highlighting that because a rookie just so happened to have 30, bro. Like, but somehow, some way, his plus minus was lower.
right,
You know what I'm
if
saying? So like
if
realistically, the impact that you have on games will show when you on the court and what type of matchup you on the court with and what type of lineup you on the court with. The joke the not the minutes where Joker is not on the court for the Nuggets, that's where you see the worst version of the Denver Nuggets. Trust me when I tell you.
Not having Aaron Gordon, you see their worst version. Like they're gonna have to really play their best without him, and he's like their anchor. Like without him, they're gonna be tested a lot against the Kings. Their defense really showed why they need Aaron Gordon. So his health will really dictate if they could beat the Rockets, even to get a chance to fight OKC again, because they'll probably have to go through the Rockets. I think if
No,
OKC
no.
has
I think the
OKC.
Nuggets will be fine in terms of regular season, bro. Because when the Rockets went with a big man lineup, that's when the Nuggets went with a big man lineup. They wasn't the least bit shy about going with Valanciunas and Joker, and it
right,
worked. Because the thing is now what it does is now you have trouble on the rebounds. Now you got to do your work early, a la Steven Adams, a la Sangoon, because it's no fathom of the imagination. The best Joker's best defense is really his offense. You got to really stop him from getting a dime or a bucket or a rebound because he's
Right.
not going to wow you with defensive stops and defensive plays, but he is going to match what you're doing on the offensive end. And I seen it in the game that we played against them last year, and I did the live with my homie NYG from the ABSN network. I said, "How long we gonna hold this league?" He said, "Not for long."
Right.
Because everything about the Nuggets, bro, you score, bro. Listen, we can match that, no problem. Let's see if you can outshoot us. Let's see if you can outscore us for real, because we know how to get up and down the court in 2 and 3 seconds. Look who the hell we got. We got the best passer in the game. We got somebody that
Right.
know how to throw outlets, know how to throw touchdown passes, know how to find the open man, know how to find open men for threes. And if you think, man, if you think for 1 minute that you gonna outscore us without getting stops, man, you better think again.
Right, and this goes back to the Danny Wolf point. This is why, like, if you want to keep MPJ as a third option in the future, I understand that. But with Claxton, this feels like the highest ceiling he'll ever reach on our team. And if you don't take the shot to trade him this upcoming deadline, Danny Wolf, you risk hurting Danny Wolf's development. Like, if you trade Claxton away, that gives Danny Wolf the full platform to get all the minutes possible with Yegor and Powell and some of the vets you eventually do sign to this team. Like, you really need to look at that and evaluate that. Listen, Claxton's had a good season, but besides the assist numbers and free throws, nothing else about his game has drastically changed where it's like, oh my God, he's way better than Danny Wolf ever be. Total BS if you
Well,
haven't seen Danny Wolf play yet.
well, if you want to lose a lot of games, you would draft the players that's value went up as of now, right? So the
Hmm.
team will be set back because you took
If you want
the
to lose a lot
you
of games, you put
right.
Yegor and Powell in the
You put
backcourt, bro, for
right
extended minutes and let them turn the ball over all goddamn day.
because that's what they're gonna do.
If
That's
Yes,
you trade,
exactly what
but
they're gonna do.
if you trade Claxton away, our defense will crumble. Listen, I'll give this. Claxton has been the
right.
defense maker this year, but if we trade him at the deadline, we should be smooth sailing to a bottom 3-4 record. Like, if you could trade Claxton away, that gives Danny Wolf a platform for the rest of the season to play alongside Clowney, Powell, Yegor, and MPJ at that point, which is good. You have one vet on the team, you have four young players. That's how we progress. That's how we set ourselves up for a top five guy, and then we could
But
just go with a
but
rocket
then
from there.
you got to guarantee that you get a box office for next season because ticket sales will go down because you just got the team is the worst team in the league.
Because we traded Claxton away at that
Yeah,
point.
because we're going to lose
But we
every
got Danny Wolf.
game.
We got Danny Wolf playing. So
Well,
like
then
that
he
is
has
actually a
to.
win long term.
You have to bet that Danny Wolf is going to bring ticket sales. That's
He
what you're
brings
saying.
offense. He brings offense, playmaking. He can rebound. His defense needs a lot of work. But just like Leaf said. But wait, just like Leaf. Just like Leaf said. Look at what Joker has around him. He has a top defender in Gordon, a top shooter in Jamal Murray. If you put the right piece around Danny Wolf, Wolf can fill up a stat
Yeah,
sheet
but
and
we
help
ain't
you
going to
win a
be
lot
able
of
to put that
games.
pieces once you trade Jack Claxton out. You don't
How,
have
how
that wiggle
so?
room to make
We
that.
have Clown. We have
You don't
Well,
have
Clowney. We have
you don't
here's
have
the
MPJ.
no
We have
thing.
wiggle
The
Powell.
room.
only
We have
way it'll
Yegor.
work, bro, is if you trade the major front court pieces, bro. Like I promise you, if MPJ is still here after the demolition of the front court players that's getting minutes now, and Danny Wolf is actually getting starts to get 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes while MPJ is still there. That kind of helps MPJ realistically because he could play with a passer. He played with one damn near his whole career in Denver.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
true.
saying? So like, and it works because we got to remind ourselves, MPJ and Jordy was on the same was there in Denver before.
Right,
They was there. He
right,
was there. He was there when Joker was coming of age, bro. Like
right.
he was there then, and we seeing it all play off, bro. Like my thing is that you like for some reason you gotta. It's one or two things, and I'm leaning on one thing. If you believe that if you believe that Danny Wolf is gonna get minutes now, you believe that he's gonna start winning, bro. With whatchamacallit. What you need to do is make sure Danny Wolf has nothing at his disposal, bro. When you start him, because that's how you can continue to tank.
Right.
You don't what you this is what you leave. This is what you leave Jordy Fernandez without. You leave him without shooters. You leave him without a premier, a veteran point guard, and he can't win.
Right.
The only problem is we're still winning with a
Winning with
center.
this.
We're winning with a semi center and a great third option in MPJ right now. Here's the thing: if you want to keep Claxton, MPJ's value is super high now. I'm hearing a lot of teams, well, not a few contending teams, might be willing to take a big leap on a guy like MPJ. Like they have to maximize his full value too. He's doing tremendous right now. Like if my best case scenario is one of them gets traded at the deadline for a decent haul that at least guarantees you another unprotected first. Now the Claxton one makes more sense than MPJ right now because it opens up a lane for Danny Wolf, one of the guys you drafted that could be a core piece. When you trade MPJ away, that's like, okay, I think I have a shot to get AJ DeBassa to be my three. If that's the case, then trade MPJ for the best offer possible. If you don't feel confident you'll get in that top three, moving Claxton makes a lot more sense long term for Danny Wolf's development and progress, and it sets itself in a great tank way because our defense will be really bad after you trade Claxton away. So, like,
Mm.
those are the
I'm
options you
trying
have
to
to
get
weigh
as
with
much of
both
this
of them.
blanket on you as possible.
Like Scott, do you see like the pros I'm mentioning here with trading either one of
Yeah.
them right now potentially? Because it
Yeah, no,
sets you
I'm
up
not. I'm not
for a top
against
pick.
trading. I'm just saying it has to be kind of worth it,
Mm-hmm.
and you just need you need luck, man. It's a lot of luck when you got that team like that. You know, you need the pieces to fall in. Either way, we got to get the top three. I know
Right.
some people say top five. I think
I'm not.
top
I'm not
three.
buying that top five shit, bro.
I
Like,
think
listen.
top three is
I
what
know
you
Caleb.
need.
I know Caleb Williams' height and wingspan wows and wows a lot of people, but nothing about him reads. I'm about to get drafted to this team and put the franchise on my back.
Right.
Nothing about him reads that, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's got to be the top
Excuse me
three.
when I say that, bro. Like, because if that's what you're looking for, just in case you don't get that big trade, bro, after you draft
Because you
somebody in the
need that
top five,
trade. You need that trade.
because you need a trade, bro. Because what's gonna happen is, bro,
You need a trade.
when you trade for somebody that's knowable just to sell tickets, along with somebody that's in the top three, that player is grooming him to become the next best thing in that city.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's what's
Besides trade,
happening there.
besides trading,
What Nets fans got to stop falling in love with, bro, is these bullshit temporary ass fixes, bro. Where you satisfied with mediocrity.
right? And here's the thing: you and Scott have seen my honest opinions on this. Listen, I think what MPJ and Clax are doing is fine, but are we going to be a legit winning team with both those guys making over $60 million the next 2 years? No. But if you get rid of one of them, it cuts that cap space in half. Where that's free space to go after a vet on an affordable salary and a guy that can help you still win. Like, I don't think keeping both these guys is good long term. If you want to trade away Claxton, so MPJ is your third or fourth guy going forward, I agree with you. If you want to keep Claxton and have him and Danny Wolf be appearing, and you want to trade MPJ when his value is the highest because you think you're getting an AJ DeBassa, take the swing. But you got to take a swing at this deadline. Worst case scenario, like I just talked about with Leaf, is you just trade Hayward Highsmith away and Cam Thomas for 2 seconds. Keep these other vets. We win against these bad teams, and we get the ninth or eighth pick. That can't happen at the deadline. This trade deadline is going to play a bigger part than we're talking about right now because the way Jordy's running this, he's going to use everything at his disposal to not embrace development properly. Like Leaf just said, we got to force him to at this point. Jordy, we have to
Yeah.
force you to accept what is in front of you.
Yeah, you got to
That's
trade
it.
away. You got to trade away what he's good with, because
Right.
the thing is like once they got rid of Dennis Struder, once they got rid of the veteran point guards, now you basically handcuffing them. You basically handcuffing one arm. You got to figure out how to handcuff the other, because when you got rid of
Right.
him, they started running shit through Cam Johnson, and now you upgraded to
Yeah.
MPJ.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
basically upgrade. I told people when the trade happened, bro, Cam Johnson has never been what MPJ was ever in his basketball life. When he came out the womb, he was never what MPJ was ever.
Right. Right.
All right. And that's why you got to
I
look
don't know why
at. And
people I don't know why people keep bringing that up, bro. My voice is very very loud when I speak on these things, bro, and everybody knows that. And I said MPJ is light years better than Cam Johnson, and I got pushback before the season started. Now you fast forward a couple of months and a couple of weeks. Now we shouldn't get rid of MPJ. Y'all gotta stop.
seriously,
Y'all have to stop accepting mediocrity.
Right, and here's the thing with MPJ's value is like the best it's ever been. And here's the thing: imagine a team like Detroit. They're looking at guys like Laurie Marketing and Anthony Davis. You have to pay a huge price with both those guys, but you have a third option, MPJ. If I could come away in a trade with them with Tobias Harris expiring salary, one of Ron Holland or Jaden Ivey, those are two young players on their team, and another 2026 first round pick. I'm maximizing full value for MPJ. I have a second pick in this draft. I have expiring salary for cap space, and I have one or two young projects to add to my young core. That's how you maximize
I'm
MPJ's trade, like Leaf is talking about. But if you don't, we have another temporary third option. There's no guarantee MPJ
well.
can maintain this as he gets older.
The
Given the
only
fact that
the
his
well,
back surgery
John
is good.
John John has the right idea. Just my thing is, I'm not selecting a team yet because you
Mm-hmm.
fast forward because we flash back a year ago. Cam Johnson, OKC was supposed to get Cam Johnson, and they won a championship any goddamn way. So
Mm-hmm.
realistically, bro, like I'm not about to force nobody to take this and take that to take this to a team, bro. Like because that's not. Listen, I understand the money is supposed to match up, and we got somebody who making $39 million,
Right.
somehow averaging 25 and 8. But at the same time, bro, like what I'm not gonna do is not gonna force the issue because I know how stupid this front office is when it comes to trades. That's number one. Number two, the fact that we got MPJ in a first for Cam Johnson was beyond me.
That was a
My
win anyway.
That was a
That
win
that's
anyway.
one
That
of the
was a
most
win. That was a
valuable
win
picks we have
anyway in
now.
terms of all right, yo, you upgraded the player, but at the same time, you upgraded in the wrong year. You
Right.
upgraded
Right.
in a year that you were supposed to exactly be at the basement of the goddamn Eastern Conference, and somehow
Exactly, Leaf.
and
Exactly.
somehow, some way, the Indiana Pacers, who lost what Miles Turner to Milwaukee and Tyrese Halliburton for a year to an Achilles injury is somehow beating you to it.
And Washington
Somehow
too.
Washington, who got better talent, is beating you to it.
Yeah, I hate
Right,
that when
because
they
they're
say
smarter.
better.
Because they're smarter than us.
That's not
They have no
smart.
humiliation. No, no, wait, wait, Scott. Wait, Scott. They have no humiliation. They have no shame. They have no false pride. They know where they stand in the
I feel
NBA. At least
sorry
the
for
Brooklyn Nets.
whoever they draft because they're gonna be garbage.
Hey, if they get
Uh,
Darren Peterson, Scott, they
they
won't be
still
garbage
gonna
for
be
more than maybe
garbage.
3 years after that.
They
Eh.
still,
If they get
they
Darren
still.
Peterson, all they gonna do is waste him away like they
Wait,
did
he's
John
gonna
Wall.
be. His career is gonna get wasted at
Yeah,
Washington.
but so many people said that about Kate Cunningham with Detroit. They said, "Oh my God, why is Kate with Detroit? This kid's got so much talent. Get him out of there." He had a chance to leave them, and he
Yeah,
decided not to. And look at them now.
but
I'm
that
just
was on.
saying,
But that was on
perspective.
him. That was on him, and that's why he stayed.
And now they're the number one team in the East. I'm just saying, if you get a franchise generational guy, that one guy can change a whole franchise. Even a team that's as bad as the Wizards. For the Brooklyn Nets right now, we're in the garbage ass middle. And to what Leaf's point is, MBJ and Claxton should not stop you from trying to guarantee the best odds possible. If you want to keep them, that's your prerogative, but they're not going to win at the end of the day without a number one guy. And your cap bill gets cut in half if you get rid of one or two of them because you could collect the best assets. We're in the Cam Johnson situation we're at last year's trade deadline. His value was the highest it ever was, but Sean Marks decided to bluff himself. Now you have two guys who are at their highest values right now. Are you really going to let a team offer you something and say, that's not good enough? I'll hold them, another year or two when their values go in the shitter. And then we're looking up shit creek at that point. Listen, MPJ or Claxton, there are cases right now where contending teams could give you something decent for them. I'm not saying there's going to be a top potential future lottery pick or anything like that, but you get another first in this year's draft, you get an unprotected, full unprotected pick, and maybe a young player that they're not utilizing. That's good value because you're adding to your core and your assets to move forward. We have to consider this because the ultimate goal is preserving your lottery pick, not letting Tyrese Martin be part of your future long term, not letting MPJ and Claxton destroy what you're trying to build. Enough of the temporary options. We're going to be a parity until we have a franchise guy that we could brand, market, and know that he's going to be part of this team for the next 10 years.
And I
Everybody on
got
this
news
team
for
right
you.
now,
It
there's
ain't
no
gonna come
guarantee
out
of
of
that
this draft
whatsoever.
neither.
Now, when I look at Detroit, when I look at Detroit's roster, they have three players that solidify their team. It's Cade Cunningham,
Hmm.
Right.
Jalen Durham, and
Mm.
Asar Thompson, right?
Ooh,
No,
I like
no,
that. I like that.
no,
Really?
no,
Who
no. It's
solidified that
not. It's
team?
not. It's
Oh,
not a Saw
Isaiah
Thompson.
Stewart.
It ain't him neither.
It's not Ivy, right? Because he's on the outs
It's
with
not
them.
Ivy neither. They don't have
Right,
a. They don't have a 3-piece. They got a 2-piece, bro. Like
right.
That's
okay,
why MPJ makes sense. They need a third guy. That's why
Once,
there's a
you did
listen,
hypothetical
remember.
there.
Remember you did.
Tim
Remember you
Duncan,
did. Remember you did this last year to
Tim
OKC, and they
Duncan,
winded up winning the championship
right?
anyway.
Tim Duncan, Tobias Harris,
But they're in the
Karis
East,
LeVert.
though, Leaf, not the
Listen,
West.
yeah, but I'm just
Yeah, I
saying,
understand that, but you
and
did
we
the
are
same thing a
too.
year
We
ago
are
with Cam
too.
Johnson trying to demand that
we
OKC
are.
take him, and
We in
they
the
won the
East too.
championship anyway.
We in the East too. You when you say that, when some people and I hear people say that, well, this is the East. Well, it won't take us long to be somebody in the East.
Yeah, but if we help out Detroit, they knock
Nah,
the Knicks out, and then we have control of their future after this
when
year.
we're
So, yes, we're sacrificing a third option MPJ, but we're winning long term because we give the Knicks a true
I
foil in
think,
the
I
Pistons.
think we need
Like,
to flip. We need to flip the whole roster, bro, at this point because it's a lot. We got to face facts that it's a lot of players on this team. Once we finally start winning, it's not going to be no spots for them. It's not, bro. Yegor and Yegor, Drake Powell are on. They basically on trial time, bro. Like the trial, basically trial and error time. This whole roster might be flipped in another year, and we're
it's
gonna
going to
be
be
looking.
flipped in 10 days.
Yeah,
For them to
listen, I'm
materialize.
well. I wouldn't even say in 10 days because I don't think. First off, I don't think our front office is built like that to flip no damn roster in no damn 10 days. If they do flip a roster, they going backwards because they always gonna shoot themselves in the foot with one trade too many. That's the same thing that the Tangerines did, bro. That's why they going through the shit that they going through now. They doubled down on Jalen Brunson and the Villanova Wildcat friends, bro. Like, and they only got 3 out of 4.
Yeah,
They
but
they
even
they they
even
screwed
even
themselves over.
even Zaire and Dayron have a lot of trade value right now. I've heard through different
I don't
teams right
think they
now.
got
Like
not a
they
trade
might be due
value at
too.
all.
No, they
You-
definitely do. Zaire is a good defender on the
They
cheap for
making
6 man.
6
Dayron is
million
your
a
best
piece, bro.
rebounding
That's
backup.
not they trade value is not that up, bro. Trust me.
I would say Dayron's is just because he's the best rebounder in the NBA and he's a backup. There are teams that need backups right now. Like, if you want to get Danny Wolf playing time and keep Claxton, then Dayron, unfortunately, he'd have to go. If they are foolish to keep Claxton, Dayron, who's a guy I'd like as a bench piece, he'd have to go for Danny Wolf. Like, one of them has to go, or else Wolf is seeing no playing time because Noah Clowney is holding down the 4th spot until we draft the Cam Boozer if we select the Cam Boozer. So, like, Clowney has that spot locked down and Wolf ain't going to get it. So, one of Dayron and Claxton has to go this upcoming deadline, or we're wasting Wolf, like you've been saying, Leaf. So there's the decisions that have to be made very soon. Same with MPJ. Like, if you want to take a swing and get the best value back for him because you think you'll get the
All right,
bounce in the
trust me.
draft, that's a swing you might have to take. But we can't just stand by and say, "Oh, we're going to trade Haywood for a second and Cam for a second, la di da." Complete trade deadline. No, Sean Marks has to be active this deadline. Last year he was zero. I think we did 0 deals last year, which was pathetic. This is the deadline where there should be some damn activity. You have $15 million in unspent cap space. If he keeps all that and doesn't use it wisely, it's just a waste of a deadline. We're basically staying in the middle and we'll get screwed out of a top pick. There has to be moves made at this deadline. And I know that's going to hurt some Brooklyn base members' hearts because they see these guys as part of the future with who we draft. That is no guarantee that these guys are part of the future. They're doing well on a bad team right now, some of these vets. But that doesn't mean their value is going to change and get better if we get a top guy. Like, you need the actual pieces to be a
right.
sustainable team. And Claxton and MPJ have over $60 million of your cap held up right now. That's
Yeah.
not going to build you a winning roster in a new CBA environment. People are like, oh no, listen, MPJ, he's a good third option. Claxton, he's gotten so much better. But is Claxton going to beat a Jalen Duran, a Joker, or a Chet Holmgren in a final situation? No. Like, me and Leaf actually see long term gain here if you sacrifice some of these pieces right now because it gives you the best chance to get your number one and allows a guy like Danny Wolf to be a part of the core officially.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's fair. That's understandable.
Like, you cannot do
Gotta go to the
nothing at this
bathroom.
deadline. Like, you really can't do nothing at this deadline,
Nah, you
given
go ahead.
how high the stakes are with this lottery pick. But
Cause
seriously, Scott, OKC is worrisome right now. They have
I wouldn't do
3
that, but
lottery picks right
go
now.
ahead in there.
That's unprecedented.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Why?
Oh
Yeah.
well, you know
Go
he
ahead, go to that bathroom. You
Duran
gave that
held
girl the
out,
bathroom to
so
herself.
he's going to be a restricted free agent,
All right.
which might be
Okay.
You are. Wait, you think
detrimental.
the
No,
Nets
I'm
would
gonna
try
take
to
a minute.
steal Durant?
Huh? What you said?
You think the Nets would try to steal Durant from the Pistons with the
Oh, I
cap
mean,
space
just
this
saying,
summer?
it don't have to be the Nets. It can be anybody else.
Well, anybody can make an offer. They'd have to match it. But I'm
Yeah.
just see how much cap
Durant
space they
ain't
have.
going nowhere, bro. If he ain't going nowhere then, bro, he ain't going nowhere now.
Yeah, he gonna probably stay, but he's looking to get
Probably.
paid. He looking to get
Yeah,
paid.
he looking to get paid. That's why he having the year that he having contract.
Right.
Yeah, listen, if you want to keep MJ, I understand it to be a third option, but Claxton to me feels like the most movable because you have Danny Wolf in the wings waiting to get his shot. I feel like with Claxton, after this year, his value is going to regress and he's going to go back to doing what he's doing. If you get better
No, I
pieces
don't think it
around
is
Claxton,
regress.
his production will drop back to what it was, the norm. Like, that's just how Claxton is.
Here's the thing, bro. Like Claxton has proven that he could play with shooters, and he's proven that he could play with runners and
I don't think it's
zoom
gonna
zoom
go
and
down.
up the court open court players, bro.
Yeah,
Like the
I don't
thing,
think
that's
it's
the
gonna go
thing.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
But
definitely
he's not
proved
an
that he.
interior anchor, though. That's the thing. You need an interior anchor.
But he's definitely proven that he could play with superstars as well. And you do kind of need an anchor, but at the same time, bro, like I mean, come on, is Chet Holmgren really an anchor, bro? Like,
No.
I
He was great in
mean,
that game 7 for the one that mattered. That was his best game in that series against the Patriots. He was
Yeah,
garbage
but that was
most of
just
those
a
games, but it was the
game.
game
I
that
mean,
mattered.
he's not.
I
He's
mean,
not.
well, that kind of came down to something else, but I mean,
That's something. Yeah.
Problem
that
is,
game seven kind of came down to something else, bro. We all, I
There was
mean,
an injury for Game 7 that
I'm listen.
I know, but
I
I'm
wasn't
just
gonna
saying that Holmgren
I
stepped
wasn't
up
gonna
to the
say that
plate
I
in
word,
game
bro. But
7.
at the same time, we all know that all championships is not created equally, bro. It's not like dudes is getting championships through the mud, through the thick and thin in the mud, scratching and clawing, bro. And they got one dude dragging them across the finish line. That's not what happened with OKC. They lucked up in 2 series, bro. They had some things go their way. They had some key side notes to their championship run, even though they did dominate the regular season, and even though they dominate in the regular season right now. But let's not get it confused, bro. Like we may be looking at another Golden State type of run where it's a lot of hospital signs next to some of these championship rings.
No, this is
And
scarier than the Golden State Warriors. The fact that Sam Presti has given them the flexibility with contracts to move them and have all these picks on top of it, it's unprecedented. Like OKC is going to have to be active on this deadline too. They have to move some of those 4 picks that they have, and I think for the Nets, we have movable picks. We got to find a way to get one of those picks for next year's draft. OKC has zero space left to add more roster spots. Like they're going to try to trade with some team. We should be one of those teams.
That's the
OKC cannot
beautiful.
have all this power right now.
Yeah,
It is
that's
scary
it's a
what they have right
beautiful
now.
thing that when you think about it, every year you got to move players.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Every team got to move somebody.
The fact that we have to put ourselves in the business of trading means that we're gonna do one trade too many, and that like first off
Oh, this is
we got to put something on the chalkboard in terms of how we want to run in terms of going forward next year. Going forward next year, bro, everything needs to be committed to competing.
I
Nothing
agree.
more, nothing less. So you need to establish 1 through 9 who the hell you want. You want somebody to anchor the paint by themselves and go in the rebound? You know what play I got in mind.
Zach Edey.
Then listen, you want somebody at the 4 to stretch the floor and be able to play make and be able to pass and make passes and still set screens and shoot. You know who I got in mind.
Yeah, Danny Wolf.
That's almost like
He's
the Zubac situation where the Lakers had Zubac, then they let him go to the Clippers, and look at him now. Like, will the Memphis actually let him go? Though is the question.
I think a lot of things we see, it's not going to be like what we think it's going to be. It's going to be different. There's some players that's going to move, and it's going to cause a shakeup.
Especially with this deadline, I agree, Scott. And the Pistons are a team that is in full throttle position to make a
They-
big move for somebody. Like we just saw the roster. They have a 1 and 2 in Cade and Durant. It looks like a Shaq and Kobe duo, but who's your third guy? Like Tobias Harris could be part of like
He could
a
be. I
committee
think
of
he
third
is.
guys.
I
But if
think
they
he
trade
is.
for MPJ, if you trade for MPJ though, that is your third guy. And
Yeah, yeah,
MPJ, Cade, and Durant trio is very enticing, and then you have a great depth around them. Like there's potentiality there for us to make a good move with them. Like they might have to give up maybe 2 to 3 rotation guys and a pick. Like to
right.
give that up to be your third option, I think it's a good gamble for both sides because remember, MPJ only has 1 more year on his contract after this, so it actually behooves Detroit to make a move like this because you don't have to sacrifice 4 or 5 picks for a Laurie Marketing or an Anthony Davis. Like
Yeah,
you could still get a third guy, but you just have to give up maybe a young piece and a pick and expiring salary. So I think there's definitely something there between Detroit and Brooklyn if they do act upon it. But this is where the Nets are in a great position. You're going to have contending teams. There's at least right now 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 6 teams that could contend right now, realistically. It's Cavs, Detroit, and maybe the Knicks, but there's a lot of competition being there right now, so that's not a guarantee for them, which actually benefits us a lot. And then there's the West, the Rockets, OKC, and the Nuggets. Like out of those 6 teams, the Detroit is the one that stands out to me because they need a third option, which we have MPJ. Claxton, I don't know where you could send him right now because a lot of the teams that I had in mind for him are semi-tanking. So maybe one of them that wants to be competitive could trade for him. But we definitely have options in front of us. We're helping out a contending team, getting rewarded for it, and we also have a chance to trade Claxton away to somewhere else where we can get more expiring salary and another pick on top of it. So we have options ahead of us. That's a good position we're in right now. It's just this
yeah,
front office doesn't know when to strike when the iron's hot. MPJ and Claxton are putting up ridiculous numbers. This was the same position we were with Dennis and Cam last year, and they sold both of them when their values were at the lowest. So you don't want to waste an opportunity if a team is desperate to win this year and they're literally knocking on your doorstep. And the
right.
thing for us is our main goal should be to get a number one guy. We don't have a number one guy right now. We still have guys that are middle tier options, but you're never going to be a serious organization unless you secure your number one guy. And I feel like this front office could really show us on the deadline that they care about going all out for a number one guy. Then I could actually feel like we have some semblance of a structure. But if you let Jordy screw around with this current group, we're going to screw ourselves out of a top 5 pick, and a team that's undeserving of it is just going to swoop in and steal it from us. Like,
Yeah,
this is a draft that we need to be a part of in the most serious way possible, or else I don't see how we're going to be a serious team in a
yeah.
week East if you don't have a number one guy.
Jamal said, John, did you hear Jay from BK tonight about the trades?
I didn't, Jamal, but I left a take on his show. I don't know if you saw it. I definitely gave a take in the beginning of the show. Listen, we have a lot of moves to make ahead of us. I know that Jay from BK is with me on that. We have to trade maybe one of Claxton or MPJ. And Jamal, I see reasons why you could keep one of them or maybe both. But remember, both of them are making over $60 million your gap for this year and next year. That means 2 years are being wasted where even if we get a top guy, their salaries, if these guys aren't healthy and performing at a high level like they are right now, it's not going to amount to much. But if you could trade one of them when their value is the highest, it gives you more flexibility. It gives you more picks, and maybe you get a young player out of the deal or an expiring salary. So the Nets have options in front of them. But if Sean Marks just trades away a Haywood or a Thomas for a second round pick, the trade deadline was a waste of time because you let potential good deals go away because you wanted way more. Like I think MPJ and Claxton are in a position where you're going to get decent assets back. You're not going to get nothing crazy historic, but you're going to get assets back that allows you to move forward with your youth, allows a guy like Danny Wolf or somebody else that hasn't gotten the time yet to really build a role on this team. But with MPJ and Claxton right now together, it's not going to give you long-term success unless you get a number one guy in next year's draft, which right now, with the way Jordy wants to win these meaningless games, it's not something to feel high about right now because a lot of teams are about to tank soon with us, which could drop us all the way to 7th or 8th odds, which Scott, oh man, that pick could go anywhere at that point, anywhere. And
Right,
that's not something to feel crazy great about either.
right, right. Jamal says he was saying that we have to realistically every trade can't be a win for us, meaning it wouldn't benefit Pistons to do a trade for us. It's not a win for them. Oh, okay.
I disagree. Listen, Tobias Harris is a good option, but compare Tobias Harris to MPJ right now. Who is killing it right now? MPJ. Who's a legit third or fourth option? MPJ. Tobias Harris was with Philly. He didn't exactly. I remember this about Tobias Harris in the playoffs, Scott. He was awful with the 76ers. This guy was dropping zero performances like he was a Ben Simmons 2.0. And last year against the Knicks, I thought he was one of the worst players in those second and third games. I think for the
Right.
Pistons, it's a good swing for them because look at Laurie Market and Davis right now. Both those GMs, Ainge and the new GMs of Dallas, are going to try to swindle Detroit, get him to trade like 3 or 4 picks, two of their young guys, and some of their supporting characters. Whereas with MPJ, we're asking for an exchange of a semi third or fourth option, Tobias Harris, whose salary comes off the book for us, one of maybe Jaden Ivey or Ron Holland. Ron Holland's another young player in the team that could have potential, and their 2026 first round pick. That's not a crazy haul for them to give up, but it's a good haul for us, and they get their third option. There's definitely a good compromise here with both sides if both sides made the deal. And we give the Knicks a real foil in Detroit, who I think are in a way better position to take them to the limit again this year. So we're actually doing a lot of good for us, but we're giving them a third option that they could use. And it's a
But,
third option that's
but
not on the
honestly
books
speaking, though, the
anymore.
Pistons probably the best team in the East anyway.
Yeah, but it changes when you face OKC if you win this East. So,
I mean,
use every weapon
I mean
possible at that point.
I'm just saying, first you got to get there.
Right.
You can't worry about who you playing. You got to get there. You got to win it. You got to win the East, and that's what I think they're going to win the East anyway.
Well,
So
if they
they're
go,
not.
all-
They're
if
not
they
worried
go,
about the Knicks. They're not
well,
worried about the
if
Knicks.
they go all out on Laurie Marker or Anthony Davis, they have a huge shot to win the East because those are two difference makers.
Sometimes trading when your team is functioning and working, trades don't necessarily help you. I mean, if your team is terrible or you feel you missing a piece, then it's, or you in the middle of that pack and you trying to get over, you hire a gun. But I think the days of hiring a gun is almost over.
Well, it depends on your. I agree with you to a degree. It depends on where you are in the CBA. If you're near the first or second apron, oh, you can't do that because you're taking a huge gamble and you're
Right.
risking ruining chemistry. But the team with Detroit right now, they have their one or two. It's Cade and Durant. That's their Shaq and Kobe right now. But even Shaq and Kobe needs a third hired gun, and MPJ is a guy who could slide right in, give you like an easy 20 points in your starting lineup alongside Cade and Durant. So it makes them a lot better. But I can see why they would want to keep things the way they are. But at the end of the day, they ask themselves, do we want to just win the East or do we want to win the whole damn thing? And I think a team like Detroit, they're going to take a big swing if they feel like they can. They're the team to watch out for on this deadline because they have the assets to go after somebody. But with the guys we have on contract, there are not a lot of options for MPJ right now. The only two options I've seen is Detroit and maybe Portland because they have Jeremy Grant's contract. That's not something I think we want to do, whereas the Detroit one is beneficial. The Claxton one, the only team that's actually competing right now in the bottom bracket is Boston, and they have Simons expiring $27 million, which works with us on cap space, and they have future picks, which adding another pick to our arsenal doesn't hurt for Claxton. So we have limited options to trade both of them. It's just if you keep them right now and their values don't improve, and say you get your number one guy in the draft or you go after a star player, are these guys going to hold up their end of the bargain, making over $60 million of your cap space, or are they going to flutter and you're just stuck with them when their values are horrible? That's why you have to remember, Scott, if you have guys making over $40 million and they're not franchise-worthy guys in CBA, they can hurt you. Like
Yeah, that's
MPJ and
true.
Claxton are acting like
That's
top-tier guys
fair.
because we have nobody else. But once you get that top one or two guys and you trade for a star, these guys either have to produce at a high level or their contracts are a huge negative value to you winning the whole damn thing.
That's
So
fair. That's fair.
that's something to consider too. Like I'm open to keeping both of them. I'm open to trading both of them. I'm open to keeping one over the other, vice versa, if we can get a decent haul of assets back. But I am in full agreement that securing your franchise guy in the draft is the main damn option for us because we are literally without a top guy right now. We're literally in the middle, and you don't want to be in the middle with guys pretending to be top guys. That's never going to get you anywhere. That's just going
Yeah,
to sell tickets to
that's
what Leaf
fair.
said.
That's fair. That's fair. That's understandable. Well, John, it's about that time.
Nah, it was a good show,
Where they
Scott.
can reach you at, John?
Yeah, always good talking fun basketball, you, Scott. Brooklyn Nets, we're almost at the end of November. It's almost been a full month. Feels like it's been 3 months, but this is a great week. It's Thanksgiving. I wish every Brooklyn Base member a very happy and wonderful Thanksgiving with the family. Scott, I wish you and your family a wonderful Thanksgiving. And
You
definitely for
too,
this week,
John. You too, John.
we're playing some games. But just remember, this week's about being with the family and enjoying making good memories. So
Yeah,
that's what should be the
I
main
would like to
thing.
thank
So,
Lee for joining us.
God, Lee.
Jamal, people, Jamal in the chat. Thanks, John. Jamal. Happy holidays to everybody. Um, like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.
Peace.